with the creamy decadence of Bliss chocolate dessert from Clover. Surrender to a moment of pure chocolate bliss. Bliss, double indulgent.
Made with love by Clover.
Happy Thursday and happy Heritage Day, South Africa.
Yes, what a special day.
What a special day. And with it being Heritage Day, it is worth noting that there are more ways to celebrate the day with food than just meat on the grill. A Malva pudding has got to be one of the most legendary and classic South African desserts. And to make things even more decadent, we've got an indulgent recipe for our chocolate Malva pudding.
Jeez, I've never heard about a chocolate Malva pudding.
I know, right?
I know, right?
I know. And so that's the thing about us South Africans.
Yeah.
We not only do we take our food and just make it our own, we always have to add that little bit of, you know, something.
And that's what's nice, because it's like an old recipe that I didn't grow up with it. Did you grow up with Malva pudding?
No.
Me neither. So I only got to know it when I came to Cape Town, and that was in 2000 about. Then I got to know it, yeah.
Okay.
But it's a wonderful dessert, and I've never had it with chocolate.
I know.
That is what we need to do. We need to change a bit as we go along.
Put our own twist to it, put our own flavor to it, and that's what we're doing today. So I'm starting here with just creaming together my eggs and sugar. I've got caster sugar because it dissolves much quicker, and then it obviously reduces the risk of the eggs actually burning from the sugar. Yeah. So I'm going to be elbow greasing all over here.
I was waiting for you to say that, because that arm of yours must be very strong by now too.
Yeah, I think I could probably bench press just with the one arm, and then the other one is just, you know, just there for control.
So you're going to cream the sugar and the egg until it's light and fluffy. And then what are you going to do?
And then after that, I'm going to go in with the rest of my ingredients. So what I have here is I've got eggs, sugar, I've got apricot jam, I've got some bicarb, some flour, salt. Guys, if you want to get the recipe details, go to afternoonexpress.co.za. And I've also got some melted butter and some milk. So while I cream all of this, you're actually going to help us and make the sauce, but let me just show you the steps before we do that. So I've got my sugar and egg. I've creamed it as far as I possibly can.
Show us, please.
Show us. That I have.
It's beautiful. It's light. Show the camera.
Yes, it's light and fluffy now. So you basically, it looks almost like a custard without all the other ingredients. So before I go in with the rest of the ingredients, I want to make a bit of a buttermilk sort of sauce on the side. That's going to go inside. And that is our milk. I've got some vinegar, and then I've got some apricot jam. So before I actually add the apricot, the vinegar, let me cream these two together. And then that way, I don't mind using the same whisk because it's all basically going into the same dish. So I'm just going to put these together, and then...
So it normally gets buttermilk, a Malva pudding, but because we don't have buttermilk, we're using vinegar and milk, and that creates a buttermilk.
Correct, yeah. So this liquid also goes in here with everything else. And then after this, I'm going to add my butter. And then after that, just the dry ingredients. Yeah. And then we get baking.
And you need the bicarb, and that's why you need the vinegar to make it alive, to bring it alive.
Yes.
And then you're going to add your flour and probably a bit of salt, no?
Yes, girl. You know exactly that. So these are my dry ingredients. My bicarb salt going into our flour. And we're going to mix this all together.
Yeah. And the bicarb, what I like about it, especially with Malva pudding, it makes it brown. It makes it that beautiful brown color.
Correct.
So when you pour the sauce over, it like looks caramelized. So I'm going to make the sauce, guys, and the most important thing about a Malva pudding is butter, and it's a sauce. It needs to have lots of it.
Correct.
Don't skimp on it. I'm going to put some butter in the pot here.
Okay.
And you let that melt down. And here's where all the beautiful indulgence comes in. Butter and lots of sugar. We've got also caster sugar here, because it's going to melt easier. Yeah. And we're giving it like a little bit of a citrus spin.
You know how we do this.
I know. And it is still citrus season, so I'm going to add some citrus in here.
Okay.
Just to give it a little bit of a tang and to balance that sugar, you know, that sweetness out. And we've got a bit of cream in here. And then the piece de resistance. Look at this. I can smell it. You know when the Malva pudding comes warm out of the oven and you pour this hot sauce over, it sucks it in. You can actually hear how it sucks it in.
I know exactly what you mean. And that's what I think made me fall in love with Malva pudding. The fact that it's got the cake and the sauce in one. So you basically just indulge all in one. Yeah. So I'm going to go into the oven with my Malva, let it cook until it's nicely golden brown on the outside. It's going to go a little bit caramelized Shirley, and that's exactly what we want.
180.
You know my girl.
Center. Okay, I'm going to go in with my Bliss in my sauce. Look at that, how indulgent. I love this Bliss. It's part of the new Clover Bliss range. And I love this chocolate flavour, this chocolate dessert, because I can have it on top, inside, everything.
Girl, why do you
just
think...
like that?
Why do you think we added this twist? Because I'm a lover of chocolate, first of all, and I love this flavour in particular. I love the fact that, like you mentioned, they've got different flavours, but I like the fact that this one in particular, like you said, I can put it into my Malva, I can put it on top of my Malva, I can make another sauce, well, not even a sauce, I can make a filling if I want to. It's completely up to me. That's how versatile that
You don't want to know what this looks like. This is looking so divine. It looks like something I can throw in a glass and drink, but I'm not going to do that. South Africa, Mzansi, I'm going to give it to Tumi, every little bit of restraint that I've got, because normally I'm in with a spoon.
I know exactly what
And then when that comes hot out of the oven, you poke holes into it. That's important.
That's very important. But obviously, if you don't, it still will soak in, but it is best to try and poke in as many holes as you can, just to make sure, you know, that it absorbs as much of that liquid as possible. I'm a sauce girl, so I'm going like over and above here. I'm adding quite a bit of sauce.
More sauce, the better. And you know what? If you've still got sauce left over, keep it on the side for the friends to pour even more sauce over the pudding. Because a Malva pudding cannot be saucy enough. It cannot be saucy enough.
It can never be too saucy.
It's like you. We cannot be saucy enough.
But then that is it. Here's our Malva looking all delicious. It's going to sit and absorb all that liquid. And to get your hands on this amazing recipe, you better head on to afternoonexpress.co.za. But in case you missed it, here's a quick recap.
Made with love by Clover.